ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम Mandalam 10 Suktam 66 ऋषि वसुकर्ण वासुक्र देवता विश्वेदेव छंदस् जगति तृष्टु। देवान् हुवे बृहच्छ्रवसः स्वस्तये। I call upon those shining beings who are omniscient, are led by Indra, are deathless, are enhancers of Vrata, are widely acclaimed, are creators of light, are highly intelligent, and who thrive exceedingly for the prosperity of this shining non-violent knowledge sacrifice. 10.16.2 66.2 Indra Prasuda Varuna Prashishta. Those learned scholars who, impelled by Indra and ordered by Varuna, attain that part of brightness of the shining sun, and who perceive wisdom in the enclosure of Marudganas of abundantly rich Indra, they generate real sacrifice. Comment on the Rak, who perceive with their mind's eye the spiritual light or the spirit or the soul of the sun and identify themselves with Atma, they are real accomplishers of sacrifice. They are sadhyas. Indro vasubhe paripadunogayam. 10.66.3 May Indra protect our dwelling, earth or body, along with Vasus. May Aditi, along with the sons of Aditi, give us good shelter and happiness. May shining Rudra, along with Maruts, delight us. May Tvashta impel us with speeches for prosperity. No comment on that. 10.66.4 Atitirtyava prithvi rutam mahad. We invoke Aditi, the space and earth, the great Ruta, Indra, Vishnu, Maruts, and the lofty sun, those resplendent sons of Aditi, the energetic Savita, the Vasus, and Rudras, all of them for protection. No comment, simple enough. 66.5 Sarasvan Dhibhir Varuno Dhritaurata. May Sarasvan Varuna, who is guardian of waters with wisdom and is maintainer of law and order, Pusha, Vishnu, Vayu, Ashwins, All these beings created by or from Atma, who are deathless, they are all-knowing and shining well, bestow on us shelter, which protects us in three ways. Comment on this. All those shining beings mentioned in the Riks are deathless because they are not really born from birthless Brahman. Only born beings die. Three-way protection implies protection of the physical, subtle and causal bodies. Vrishayajño Vrishanas Sanduyajñya 66.6. May this sacrifice and those who are fit for sacrifice be showerers of happiness. Similarly, may shining beings, preparers of oblations, brides of Prakriti, namely the space and earth, rain-bearing cloud, and praisers of the Mighty One, be showerers of happiness. Agni Shoma Vrishana Vajasadaye 66.7. I praise Agni Soma, showerers of happiness and praised by many, for winning of wealth or knowledge. These two showerers of happiness and showerers of oblations approach with offerings fit for worship-worthy shining beings. May those two bestow on us shelter which protects us in three ways. No comment on that. Dhritau Vrata Kshatriya Yajnanishkrito 66.8. Those maintainers of law and order, Vrata, who are endowed with sovereignty, who arrange sacrifices, who are very bright, are extenders of non-violent sacrifices, are having Agni as offerer of oblations, are performers of pious works of Vrata and free from malice, cause water to flow in the battle with the clouds. Battle with the clouds could be physically interpreted or in the spiritual sense. Ignorance, Agni, the sun, India, ignorance, Indra, Agni or the sun, and Marut, wind, cause rainwater to flow out of the clouds. Meditating on them, one can destroy ignorance. Deva Prithivi Janayannabhi Pratapa 10.66.9. With Vrata, shining beings generate upon the space and earth and the flowing waters, the herbs and trees fit for sacrifices. Shining beings fill the atmosphere with their own splendor for its protection. Thus, they adorn the willing body of the atmosphere by their own splendor. Dhartaro Diva Rubhava Suhasta. That 10.66.10. May supporters of the space, builders of the universe, having good hands, the wind and rain cloud of the great thunder, the waters and the plants enhance our speech. May granter of gift Bhaga and swift moving beings reach here to hear my invocation. Samudra Sindhu Rajo Antarikshamaya 66.11. The ocean, the flowing river, the atmosphere, the air, the unborn, unique protector, the water-carrying cloud, and the serpent of the sky may listen to my speech, so also all shining beings and learned scholars. Unborn, unique protector is to be taken as Atma. Serpent of the sky, Ahirbhutya, could be lightning. Syama o manavo devavitaye, 66.12. O sons of Aditi, sons of Rudra, who are good bestowers of wealth and vasus, may the thoughtful we be serving you for distribution of wealth among shining beings. Please conduct our sacrifice, making it excellent and like the preceding ones. May you animate these Vedic hymns which are being recited by us. Devya Hodara Prathama Purohita, 66.13. I go near to the foremost shining sacrificers who are placed in front of me. I approach along with the straight and right path of Vrita. I hasten near the Lord of the house, living in the neighborhood, and all the immortal, attentive, shining beings. I approach Indra and Agni. Following the straight path of Vrita, I hasten towards or seek for Atma, who is the Lord of the house, which means in my body. This is the meaning of the first and second part of the Rig together. Vasishtasa Pidravat Vajamakrata, 66.14. Most excellent praisers who are like sages, invoking shining beings, prepare Vedic speeches like their forefathers for prosperity. O shining beings, attaining our desires and knowing them as though you are pleased with them, may you shake down or shower wealth on us. 66.15. This is the last stroke of the Sukta. Devan Vasishtho Amrtan Bhavande. This is the same as 10.65.15. Next two Rigs are on Brihaspati. They serve as an introduction to his Atmajnana Suktam, 10.71. Suktam 67. Rishi Ayasya Angirasa Devada Brihaspati Chandas Srushto. This is certainly a beautiful Suktam from Sage Ayasya. Imam Dhiyam Saptashirshaniim Pitana, 10.67.1. Our father or protector obtained or discovered this intelligence which is seven-headed, which are offsprings of Vrita, and which is great. A universally beneficial, valiant sage, Ayasya, reciting Vedic Sukta for Indra, generated the Turiya state. In this Suktam, seer of the Sukta talks about the worthless Turiya state through speeches on Indra, universal Jivatma. Father implies Angiras or Brihaspati. Rhythm Shamsam the Riju Dhyana, 10.67.2. Repeating hymns on Vrita and thinking along the right direction from diversity to unity, sages who are like burning charcoal and are like the heroic sons of the Supreme Spirit, which may imply Pavamana Soma of the shining space, upholding the home or abode of the inspirer, meditate on that foremost one who is the abode of sacrifices. The inherent meaning of this recalls how the great sages of old realized the truth by meditating on Atma residing in their own hearts. Reference to this is 10.61 Skrutam. Birthlessness is truth. All births are superpositions on that permanent state. Hamsairiva Sakhifir Vavadadbhi 10.67.3. Lord of Prayer Brihaspati with his eloquent swan-like friends, scattering the bond which is strong or hard as though made of stone, makes noise and praise the spiritual light ray in the words or brooks of Vedic hymns. That twice one sings them too. Brihaspati is known to be one of the ancient sages who was able to break the imaginary bond between birthless Atma and the manifested universe. He talked about Atma in his Vedic Suktas, example 10.71 Sukta. What he realized is dealt with in the next track. Avavabhyam para ekayaga uha 10.67.4. Different from the two of the three that are sitting in the cave of the heart, the ray or quanta of spiritual light stays alone in the binding of unreality. Brihaspati, desiring light in the darkness or ignorance, brought out the spiritual ray or quanta of light and uncovered the three. Comment on this work. He identified his own Brihaspati, identified his own heart as the home of that one, spiritual light. Meditating on that, he perceived with his mind's eye three entities stationed there, Jivatma, Agni and Atma. Of these three, Atma is shrouded in the unreality with reference to the perceiving mind, Jivatma. Agni is the experienceable energy that keeps the heart beat all the time. To an observer, Atma cannot be said as either existing or non-existing. This is the implied meaning. 10.67.5. Vibhidya Puram Shayatheyam Apachi 10.67.5. Overall meaning is Brihaspati, splitting asunder the fortress which is turned back of the sleeping or resting one, implying cloud, brought out the three things that are there with the cloud. He perceived, like the dawning of the sun, that brilliant spiritual ray of light which is like the resounding space. In implied meaning can be explained this as follows. The mind is sleeping in the darkness of ignorance of its own individual non-existence, independent of Atma. Mind has no existence of its own. Mind or Jivatma that activates the mind perceives itself and Agni and not Atma. By breaking the cover or cloud of ignorance, Brihaspati brought out the that spiritual light of Atma which bestows existence on the other two. That light dawns on the mind of the perceiver, just like sun's rays bring the physical dawn in the space. This is the implied meaning. 10.67.6 Indrovalam Rakshitaram Dughanam. With sound, Indra repelled the cloud of ignorance as though with hands, which the cloud is guarding the water or spiritual ray yielder, along with Maruts, who are Indra's friends, having perspiration or adorned bodies desiring benediction, he caused the miser to weep and took away the spiritual light ray. 10.67.6, which is this ruk, and the next one, comment, Indra broke open the cloud, bringing rainwater down to earth and also bring out light of the sun with the assistance of the wind. This one meaning. Alternately, Brihaspati or his Jivatma, with his loud exposition, cleared the darkness of ignorance covering Atma, and along with his hard-working, friendly sages attained that birthless state. Benediction implies bliss associated with Brahman here, and the miser stands for Ahambhava. Sa im satyebhi sakhibhi shujatbhi. 67.7. Along with his friends who are truthful and trustful, are illuminating and are winners of wealth, he burst this supporter of spiritual light rays, Lord of Vedic speeches, Brihaspati, with sages who are showerers of knowledge and are preeminent and are perspiring with heat or exertion, obtain the most desirable wealth, namely spiritual energy of self-knowledge, Atmajnana. Te satyena manasa gopatim ga. 10.67.8. They who are going towards the spiritual light ray with truthful mind and intelligence excite the master of the ray. Brihaspati, by contesting the well-guarded imperfections with his own reasonings, brought out the brightness of them. Seekers of truth impel Brihaspati to tell the truth, which he has attained. He expounded the truth, birthlessness, by contesting the well-guarded imperfections or inconsistencies in the theory of creation of the universe or material forms from the permanent state with his own logic. Tam parthayanto matibhish shivabhi. 10.67.9. We gladden that Brihaspati, along with friends, who is roaring like a lion in his home or a den. He is showerer of knowledge and is victorious in battle of heroes, making him grow in every knowledge sacrifice. Comment, in every knowledge sacrifice, Brihaspati was being honored by the sacrificers for his great act of bringing out the spiritual light or knowledge out of the prevailing darkness of ignorance. 67.10. Yada vayam asanat vishwarupa. When he procures that vigor, quantum of spiritual energy which is manifesting in diverse forms. He ascends the abode which is superior to the space. The sages caused the showerer of knowledge, Brihaspati, grow by praising him with their mouths. Diverse forms that exist bear the same spiritual light. Implied meaning of the Rig. When Brihaspati realized truth, which is the same Atma only is present in all diverse forms, he became totally identified with birthless Atma, which is the matterless state that is superior to the subtlest matter, the space. (10.67.11) Satyam ashisham krinuta vayodhai. O resplendent beings, may you make this prayer come true for us who are vigorous. By your own paths, may you protect the preparer of this hymn certainly. Then may all injurious enemies be absent. O invigorators of all the space and earth, please listen to this prayer. Comment. May resplendent beings help the sacrificers to attain that state of oneness. This is the essence of the first part of the Rig, and rest of the Rig is self-explanatory. We go to the last Rig of the Suktam 67.12. Indro Mahna Mahato Arnavasya. The great Indra cuts off the head of the serpent-like cloud which holds the waters or water particles. Killing the ignorance cloud, he sets free the 7 flowing streams. O the space and earth, along with shining beings, please protect us certainly. Superficial meaning of the Rig should be comprehensible easily. Brihaspati destroys darkness of ignorance associated with the birthless state and uncovered that spiritual knowledge. This is explained in Suktam 10.71. Suktam 68. Rishi Ayasya Devada Brihaspati Chandas Trushtu Udapruto na Vayo Rakshamana 68.1. Praisers utter praises with reference to Brihaspati, like the men splashing in water make noise for protecting themselves from the attack of winged birds, or like the sounds of thundering clouds, or like the noise produced by the bubbling water streams breaking forth from the mountains. Explanation for that: seer of the Suktam and his co-sacrificers are praising loudly Brihaspati by this hymn. This is the gist of the Rig. Samgobhira Angiraso Nakshamano 68.2. Approaching like a graceful Lord, the son of Angiras only leads a bosom front with spiritual rays of light. Like a front among the people, he illumines the lords of the house, Agni, Indra and Ashwins. O Brihaspati, please prepare the path for us like preparing horses in a battle. Inherent or implied meaning: son of Angiras is Brihaspati. Agni, Indra and Ashwins are the lords staying in the heart space of each human being, also of Brihaspati, or it serves as a house to them. May Brihaspati lead the seer of the Suktam to truth directly. This is the implied meaning. 10.68.3 Satvarya Atithi Nirishira Brihaspati promotes the very active spiritual light rays coming out of the ignorance clouds. These rays are straight, are favorable, are entitled to hospitality, are excellent, are golden in color, and are of faultless form. Some qualities attributed to spiritual light of Atma are listed here. 68.4 Next track. Aprushayan Madhuna Hridasyayoni Brihaspati sprinkling the womb of Vrita with sweet essence Atmiya Soma, like the sun causing the much desired for water flow down from the space or atmosphere, he bring out the spiritual light ray, brings out the spiritual light ray from ignorance cloud. He splits it, the cloud, which is like the covering of the earth by the water holding cloud. Implied meaning of this slok: Brihaspati conceives of Soma, flowing essence of Atma, issuing out of the abode of Atma. This Soma becomes the creator of the universe, or a connecting link between birthless Brahman and the material universe. He splits the ignorance cloud and identifies or brings out the quantum of spiritual light energy and the flowing part contained within each drop of the flowing spiritual Soma essence. Like water-bearing dark cloud covers the earth, each quantum of spiritual energy of Atma is covered by a layer of ignorance, namely the essence of flowing property of a water droplet. This is the implied meaning. 10.68.5 Apa Jyotisha Tamo Antarikshat Brihaspati removed the darkness of ignorance from the atmosphere with the light of knowledge, like wind clearing a pool abounding in water plants. Reflecting about it, he drove together the spiritual light rays of the enclosure, which is the ignorance cloud, like the wind driving the rain-bearing cloud in the atmosphere. Comment: Brihaspati, with his intelligence, separated the spiritual rays, quantum of spiritual light energy, from the flowing part, which is unreal and which is being superimposed on the non-matter spiritual light ray. Yada valasya piyado jasum 10.68.6 When Brihaspati broke down the resting place of the deriding cloud or blaming enclosure with spiritual light rays which are hot as fire, like the tongue seizing the food offered by the teeth, he uncovered the receptacles of lights. He broke the temporary resting place of the spiritual light ray. Atma is being imagined to be blaming Brihaspati for bringing out Atma from his hiding place. Alternately, he breaks the droplet covering of Atmiya Soma drops with the spiritual light energy quanta of Atma, which is hot like fire. This is stated explicitly in the next two ruks, 68.7 and 8. Brihaspati Ramata hi Tyadasam. When Brihaspati came to know the well-known name of those spiritual light rays which are making noise sitting in the cave, he brought out the rays quanta of spiritual energy residing in the cloud on his own, like the young one of a bird comes out of the eggshell. Ashnapinatham Madhu 10.68.8. Brihaspati well perceived that sweet spiritual energy quanta concealed by the ignorance cloud, like a fish staying in scanty water. He brought it out of the cloud, transforming it with diverse sounds, like a soma vessel is made from the tree. Soshamavindat Sva 10.68.9. That Brihaspati obtained physical Usha, the sun and Agni, and with their splendor drove away darkness of the night. He brought out the spiritual ray which is like the marrow of the mountain-like ignorance cloud, surrounded with rays of or quanta of light, or having a cow-shaped body. Implied meaning. He talked about the supreme light which bestows existence on Usha, the sun and Agni, or physical light which drives away darkness. This spiritual light ray imparts existence to ignorance itself that covers the ray like a large cloud. Himeva Parna Mushitavanani 68.10. Desired spiritual lights were covered by ignorance cloud, like lotus leaves covered by snow. Because of Brihaspati, the cloud mourns for the rays lost by it. The sun and moon move up effortlessly, not to be imitated by others. Then they do what is to be done again and again. Implied meaning of the lesson. By taking out the spiritual light ray, which is the marrow of the ignorance cloud, Brihaspati makes the cloud or ignorance mourn. He explained that the appearance of the sun and moon are caused by that desirable spiritual light ray. Abhi Shyavam na Krushanebhi Ashvam 10.68.11. Brihaspati breaks the cloud-like ignorance and obtains the spiritual light ray. Protectors fashion the space severally with stars, like adorning a dark brown horse with gold and jewels. Destroying the darkness of the night, they hold light in the space. Brihaspati realized that the whole universe is a manifestation caused by Atma, the birthless state, or universe is a superimposition on that true birthless state. Protectors could be Indra, Mitra, Varuna, Aditi, etc. Last trick of the sutta from sage Ayasya 68.12. Idamakarma namo abhyaya. We prepare this hymn for that one belonging to the thundercloud, who loudly chants Om or hymns of Vedas according to the old order, that Brihaspati only with or having rays of light or cows, he with power or horses, he with heroes, and he with leaders of men. May that he give us vigorous age. This suktam is in praise of Brihaspati, the Lord of Prayer. Suktas 10.67 and 10.68 are two profound expositions on Atmajnana from sage Ayasya. Thus, the stage is becoming set for the presentation of Atmajnana Suktam 10.71 from sage Brihaspati. The next two suktas are from sage Sumitra, a good friend. They serve as a prelude to the suktam from sage Brihaspati. Suktam 69. Rishi Sumitra Vatheshva Devada Agni Chandas Jagadi Drushtu. Bhadra Agner Vadhyashvasya. Riks in the Suktam are not difficult to comprehend. However, significance of the word Vadhyashva occurring in almost every rik cannot be overlooked. The word means castrated horse or non-productive horse. A person like that implies one whose senses of perception are inactive. Now, to the meaning of this rik, appearance of Agni, personified energy, of a castrated horse-like man is auspicious. May his guidance be pleasant. May his approachers be givers of good pleasure. When human subjects first kindle this Agni and later when invoked with ghee, then he shines brightly and get praised by us. 10.69.2. Kritamagner Vadhyashvasya. .69.2. May the ghee of or to be offered to Agni of a castrated horse-like man ever increase. May ghee be good for him. May his ghee be nourishing for him. Invoked with ghee, he spreads to a distance. Sacrificed with ghee, Agni Atma shines like the sun. No comment on this. (10.69.3) Yette manur yadanikam sumitra. O spiritual Agni, which splendor of yours a thoughtful person kindles, and which a good friend kindles, may this splendor be fresh. May you leap up and shine. May you enjoy this speech. You please burst enemy strength and give us food and fame here. No comment. 10.69.4 Yam tva purvami ilido vadhrashva. O soul of Agni, may that you, whom a castrated horse-like man kindles before, enjoy this praise or hymn. Also, may you be the protector of our house as well as our bodies. Please protect this possession of yours, which is to be given to us. Here the possession may mean food or knowledge. Bhava dyumni vadhrashvota gopa. 10.69.5 O Agni, or personified energy, associated with a castrated horse-like man, please be endurer of enemies of the people. Be courageous like a hero. Be shaker of all. Be strong. Be a good protector. May none excel you. A good friend is repeating your name quickly. No comment on this either. 10.69.6 Samajriya Parvatyavasuni. O spiritual Agni, you conquer objects associated with a field, also with a mountain, as well as with a venerable man, with attendants and with enemies. You are courageous like a hero and shaker of all people. Please overcome hostile enemies. Next, 10.69.7 Dirghatandur Brihat Ukshayam Agni. This Agni Atma, who is forming a long row of flames, is shedding copious light, is having 1,000 smokes, is having hundreds of leaders or praisers, and is most shining among shining beings, is being adorned by leaders of men. O Agni, may you shine among the good friends who long for shining beings. Tvedhenu Sudugha Jatavedo. 10.69.8 O knower of all born beings, soul of Agni, the speech in you which yields knowledge easily and is as though not drying up, is yielding nectar or immortality all at once. You are being kindled by good friends who are leaders of men, are givers of gifts, and are desirers of shining beings. 10.69.2 Devaschitte Amrta Jatavedu Mahimanam. O knower of all born beings associated with a castrated horse-like person, Atmi Agni, immortal, enlightened souls, speak about your greatness. When human subjects came together asking questions, you win them over with leaders of men who are promoted by you. We go to the next track, 10.69.10. Pitva Putramabhi Pitva Putramabhi Bhairupaste Abhibharupaste. O youthful spiritual Agni, a non-productive or castrated horse-like man sitting by the side and serving you, let you grow like a father for his son. Also, taking delight in his faggot or food, you make old enemies bow down, even if they are mighty. The next track, 69.11. Shashwat Agnir Vadhreshwasya. Spiritual Agni, along with extractors of Atmiya Soma and leaders of men, conquers numerous enemies of a non-productive or castrated horse-like person. O Agni of variegated luster, you burn even an assembly of men or objects. The mighty you cut down even a mighty enemy. 69.12. I am Agnir Vadhreshwasya. This killer of enemies, spiritual Agni, is well kindled by the faggot of a non-productive or castrated horse-like person. You are to be praised with salutations. O Agni, associated with a non-productive or castrated horse-like person, please sit over our enemies who are not related to us or relatives, who are defiant. Enemies could be within one's own mind or external to the body. With this, we conclude today's session. Viramastavat.